need to know about love. Dodge something there. Spirits, angels, and guides, ascended masters, loved ones, teachers, positive ancestors. Hello, Miss Robin. What does this collective need to know at this time as it relates to love? Okay. Damn. For many of us, we are closing out a cycle here. I see a cycle here closing, but this is not a cycle closure that comes without a reward, okay? This is a cycle closure that feels like a divine intervention. So for some of you, okay, maybe this has already happened in your past. Maybe you already closed the cycle with someone, or maybe there's something that you've released or something you've moved on from. But this feels like a big cycle. Like this doesn't feel like a short-term relationship. This doesn't feel like something that was like insignificant. This feels like something significant in your life. Like this is something that was attached or connected to your past wounds, perhaps even karmic lessons or insights that you had experienced in your history. This is something that had a lot tied into it. I feel something that was interconnected to this big, significant cycle closure and release. And it feels like with this release, it's us being freed. It's us being liberated. And this liberation is something that allows us to align with our highest timeline. This is something that allows us to move to the right path. But for a time, yeah, we may have felt like we were off the path, or we may have felt like we were going back and forth, and we really struggled in terms of how to move beyond this. And this is even if this person hasn't been in your life for months, even if this person hasn't been in your life for weeks or months or years, even if this is something that you already feel like you've physically put behind you. This is a collective that I feel like is energetically putting this behind them. So like energetically, we are letting go, we are surrendering, okay? And as we energetically release, what takes place is we start to feel the energy is picking up to support us. We start to feel like, so this is literally, okay, bring it in for the real thing, okay? This is literally your guides, like beckoning to you. It's like there's a getaway car, okay? There's a getaway car, and it's like, except not crimes, but anyways, it's a getaway car, and they're looking over to you, and they're like, hey, over here, come with us. Like, we have a beautiful new place that you could come. We have a beautiful new world, a beautiful new land where love is abundant, all things are abundant, every day is blissful, there is so much contentment, there's so much expansion, there's so much prosperity, there's so much abundance. Like, come with us, right? This is your guides, like, beckoning to you in the getaway car. And for a long time, you're like, nah, I'm good, okay? You were giving them the energy of like that girl on Dr. Who was like, catch me outside. It's like you were rebelling against this. You were pushing back against this. Aries energy, right? Aries energy. We just had a full moon in Aries. You were rebuking this. You were rebutting this. You were rebelling against this. You were fighting against this, right? There was something in this in which you felt maybe you weren't ready, or you felt you had to do things your own way, okay? But I feel this energy now of surrendering. And your guides are like, come with us, and you have accepted this gift. You've accepted this invitation. Like you've allowed yourself to be basically teleported into this new world, into this new timeline. And truthfully, many of you have been projecting this holographically for some time. Like you were aware of this timeline existing, but up until this time, I feel like you weren't ready. You weren't ready, okay? So the song is Escape. For some of you, this feels like you're escaping from something, okay? What are we escaping from that was holding us back? Something that, whether this was one specific relationship or a multitude of relationships that represented the same dynamic or principle or lesson or contract, what we are escaping, okay, is something that kept us stuck in this old cycle of unfair, unequal, like non-reciprocal relationships or non-equal exchanges of energy. We were giving so much of ourselves and not getting anything back in return, and we were struggling to find balance, struggling to find stability in our life, struggling to find, the reasoning as to why. We kept coming up against the same pattern. We kept coming up against the same person, maybe in a different body. Like this is a collective that's like, oh, why? Dios mío, why? Like, why does this keep happening to me, right? Running up against the same situation, and it wasn't even just love. I feel for many of you, this was love. This was work. This was friendships. For some of you, this is a mother figure or father figure. And you felt like you had this maybe maybe noble mission of overextending or overgiving to these relationships in order to keep them afloat. Because you're like, well, if I don't do this, the relationships won't be successful. If I don't put this energy in, if I don't put this effort in, if I don't give everything of myself, if I don't sacrifice my entire being, I cannot maintain these relationships. But see, here's the thing about surrendering. Surrendering means we have to even acknowledge our own stuff, right? This is a collective that took a step back and was like, wait a second, what am I fighting to hold on to? Wait a second, what am I giving all of myself to maintain? Are these relationships actually in alignment? Are they actually aligned? Okay. And for many of you, you started asking these questions in March of this year, okay, in and around that Aries season. March of this year, February, March, I feel like there was a big change. And now, for many of you, you feel more confident than you felt in a long time, okay? Love you tonight. You're so gorgeous. We love her so much. But yes, there is this energy here of releasing February, March, and feeling a sense of maybe physical release, but not energetic release. The energetic release always precedes, right? The physical release. And I feel for many of you, we have now finally energetically released something that was a monkey on our back, that was a burden we were carrying, that was a chip on our shoulder, and it was a battle armor, right? Because if we kept holding on to this, no one else was going to be let in fully. And I don't just mean connected to this person, okay? I mean connected to this old idea and narrative that unless you sacrifice yourself fully, you can't have a relationship in your life, romantic, platonic, or otherwise. Unless you give so much of yourself to the extent where you lose yourself in the process, you will not be able to maintain that relationship. And that was a fallacy. That was a false narrative and belief system that we perpetuated that kept us stuck and constricted and repeating old patterns and cycles. But not anymore. Not anymore. Not anymore, right? A new day has dawned. A new timeline is upon us. And I want you all to be grateful for the version of you who had to experience that heartache, and not just romantically, and the version of you that is now ready to move forward in a different energy, freer and lighter. That takes courage. That takes bravery, okay? It's not easy. It's not easy. And listen, the song, I believe in miracles, where you from, you sexy thing, where did you come from, baby? It's like, listen, you're showing up in a whole new energy right now. Like, you've never felt sexier. You've never felt more radiant. You've never felt like you've glowed more from the inside out, okay? This is a whole new energy. This type of glow is not just the glow of like, you guys, I'm obsessed with this new shimmery glitter lotion that you get from Sephora for $4,000. You guys, you gotta run, don't walk to Sephora to get all these amazing $7,000 products to get your most outer glow. You don't need any of that. Do you know what you need? You need a relationship with yourself in which you wake up every day excited to love yourself. You need a relationship with yourself in which you feel so grateful to have the time that you have with yourself, okay? That's the glow right there. Nothing that Drunk Elephant $17,000 face cream is gonna provide for you that you can't provide for yourself by nurturing yourself, taking care of yourself, giving yourself that intimacy on a daily basis to say, I know you, I feel you, okay? I support you, I'm here for you. That is within your power. That is within your capacity, okay? Get obsessed with that. Get obsessed with yourself. Get obsessed with yourself. We stop giving away our power to the way we feel people need to perceive us, or keeping up with the Joneses, or keeping up with things that don't even make us happy, okay? Within this collective, yeah, you are more confident than you've ever been. 1, 2, 3 in the room, because you took the right steps to get here. Because you took the right steps to get here. Because you've never loved yourself more. And not because you're perfect. Because you're real, because you have persevered, because you're resilient. That's why you love yourself, okay? Because you are real, and because you've done the work, and you faced your demons, and you're not afraid. And for some of you, again, you've even done it when you were, but you've come out on the other side stronger, okay? What do we need to know about love in this new cycle here? Y'all, did you see that? You tell me, for those who read in the room, Miss Myra, paging Miss Myra, paging my read, the beautiful Tanaya, okay? The goddess Tanaya, who we were so grateful to have here. All of my readers in the room, okay? What is this new world of love offering to us? Stability, okay? A new foundation, a strong structural foundation that supports us, that helps us grow, that helps us expand. A legacy of love that feels both emotionally connected, but also safe and secure and balanced, okay? This new world of releasing what no longer serves us allows us to no longer feel a sense of despondency or hopelessness. Because the only thing that was creating this sense of hopelessness was our inability to turn over the reins. See how that works? It's our inability to trust. within this collective, you have now learned to trust. With this energetic release, I would really encourage you to be optimistic about the reward you're about to experience. Because when we give our guides a gift, in essence, trusting them to this degree, we will be rewarded, we will be blessed, we will be gifted abundance and prosperity in all forms. Because we are saying, yes, my noble and benevolent guides, I trust you to guide the way. I allow you to illuminate the path. Let me be part of your vision. Let me co-create with you this beautiful new world. Let me release all resistance. Let me see myself through your eyes of love. Let me accept the love that you offer me. Let me accept the gift that you bring to my life. Okay? What else about this new relationship do we need to know? For many of you, this is somebody who's going to love you for who you are. Not for this version of yourself that you curated in order for people to love you. Not for this iteration of self that was created or personalized based on other people's needs. Okay? Not this projection. This is somebody who's going to love you for the truth of who you are. And that, in essence, is healing. There's nothing more healing than someone who sees you at your core, at your truth, and says, I love you. I choose you. You are it. Everything about you is what I love. Even those parts of yourself that you've hidden or that you've repressed in order to be seen in a specific light, this is somebody who's going to elevate those parts, amplify those parts. For some of you, the parts of yourself that you dislike the most is the parts this person's going to love the most. That's a healing experience. Okay? That's how you've known. Here's my theory. That's how you've known you've met your person. When you say to them, for instance, like maybe you say you didn't like, this is an example. You said, I've never liked my ears. I have elephant ear, whatever it is. Okay. You said, I'm Dumbo. I'm flying away home with these elephant ears. And this person's like, wait a second, those ears are doing it for me, right? It's like they've never seen more beautiful ears. They're like, bring over those ears over here. It's like your least favorite thing is their most favorite thing. In my experience, that is the person that you're meant to experience a relationship with. That is somebody that is your person, or that's someone who's meant to be a long-term partner, because they can help you heal your relationship with yourself. They can help you shift this view of what you see to be flawed, to allow you to accept it and accept your beauty in your entirety. Okay? The song right now is When You're in Love with a Beautiful Woman. See, when you're in love with someone, you see all of them as beautiful. All of them as beautiful. You don't look for their flaws. You're not like, wait a second, look at that hangnail. It's like you're not going to notice these things. Okay? So, tell me about this person's presence in our life in October. Will we meet them at this time? I feel for many of you, you meet this person in the month of November. I feel within the month of October, there's still this energy of releasing. Okay, the energy of releasing and feeling like brave enough to maybe even take some time for self. For some of you. Okay, for some of you, I'm going to read some of you for filth. Okay, and you're not going to like it. You're not going to love it. You're not going to want some more of it. But that's okay. Sometimes we have to go here. Okay, sometimes we got to go here. It's tough love. Sometimes we got to go this way. Some of you have not really been alone ever in your life. Maybe you said, oh, I'm single, but you still got like 6 people in your DMs. You got 2 old stragglers from your old life. You got 2 people you used to know from college, 1 person from your last workplace, 3 people that you met down the street at the ice cream shop. It's like you still got a roster. You still got a band of misfit toys lurking in the background, just waiting for an opportunity to take something from you. Okay? Let's be real. Those of you who say, no, I don't, you lying. You play into my face, and I know you are. Okay? No, you know you are. You have energies from your past who are still orbiting you. Still connected to you. Maybe even if you're not actively speaking to them, they're still trying to get at you. Okay? They're still trying to get something from you. And I feel for many of you, this is an opportunity to say, do I need to clear the boards? Do I need to clear the boards? Do I need to release the energy? Okay? In order to be able to just find happiness on my own. Just finding happiness on our own. And finding happiness to allow ourselves to just be in our own energy and own company and have that be enough. I feel like that's what this energy is. This is finding your own company to be enough. Once you can be there, once you can get there. Once we're not busying ourselves with trying to find the next the next love affair, we can attract in that long-term partner. We can attract in that forever partner. Okay? It's about, listen, Lady Marmalade. The song is Lady Marmalade. Okay? Hey, sister, so, sister, go, sister, go, sister. It's like you are that bitch. Okay? You are that bitch. People come from far and wide for your company. Okay? People pay you well for your services. Okay? But now that you know your value and now that you know your worth, you don't sell yourself short. You don't compromise. Okay? And always get the money up front. But most of you, I see you meeting this person in November. I see them being an earth sign. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn could also be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is somebody you could have already dreamt of. Okay? Any other insight into this new relationship that we need to know? Yeah, this is somebody who could already be watching you. For some of you, this is somebody who's already watching you and waiting on you or is aware of you in some way, maybe just energetically, maybe just in the 5D, but they're observing you. They're definitely observing you. And they are feeling pulled and drawn towards your feminine energy, this activation of your third eye, this awareness of your power, this understanding that you are now open to receive, okay? This is somebody who is coming in devoid of ego. This is somebody who's coming in with warmth. This is somebody who's coming in very connected to themselves, looking to connect to a partner. This is somebody who is coming in to be able to occupy a life with you within that flow state, within that harmonious place. Because the resistance that led you to this path is now also giving you this gift to say, I can choose a different way. I can choose a different way. Often we ask, why am I being forced to surrender? Well, it's not an energy of being forced, it's an invitation. If it's rough, it's because of you, okay? If you take it as a being forced, if you're like, why are you forcing me? That's because of you, okay? You making it rough, you're making this hard. You can go easy or you can go hard. Some of y'all have been choosing to go hard, that's on you, okay? Some of you were like, no, Spirit, I like being miserable. No, I like not having enough. I like only getting a message every 3 months, Spirit. Let me be miserable by myself. Listen, it's our choice. Free will is a gift, okay? But now, many of you are shifting into a place in which we are choosing to use our free will in a new way. And we are doing so from a place of being in attunement with our third eye, which is now fully activated. And your third eye has been giving you insight and visibility to this new world. The initiation has already begun. The embodiment has already begun. Now it's a matter of this external world to mirror this. Okay, look at this. Integration into a state of union. Because when two divine partners have done work outside of the relationship in order to meet each other at an aligned point, there isn't that battle, right? That battle period in order to integrate. There is this awareness of the work that we've done independently to meet each other at this place. But when you do connect into a state of union, the integration process should be fairly painless, right? Come together at the same energy point. Final advice for this collective around this energy. You may not always feel like you're on this path. For some of you, it's like you feel more confident, but some of you are questioning whether you are actually making progress or whether you're actually being led towards the right place. This is requiring of your courage. It requires penultimate courage to say, I'm going to keep on this path even if I don't know where it leads me, even if there's no guarantee. Isn't that the definition of courage? Being able to operate in a place and space in which we can maintain our self-belief despite a guarantee, despite the need for control. That's courage. That's faith, right? This courage and this faith is giving you this opportunity to be able to create space for something so much better than what you've experienced up until this time. And your faith is not only just within your guides, your faith is also within yourself. So for many of you, your current circumstance is just a passage in time. I want you to take this opportunity to be able to release this energy and peace, to not feel like you're waiting for anything, because you're not waiting. Like, you're the one who's taking action. You're the one who's in this state of leadership at this time, okay? But it also feels like you are calling in not only a high-level partner, most of you it's an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but this is somebody who's going to be a long-term partner who provides you that sense of safety, security, peace, harmony, but also makes you feel alive, okay? So I hope that message was helpful for my collective, sending so much love, positive energy, and abundance. If you enjoyed that collective message, 1111 down below. Let me know if you guys resonated with that message. Oh, listen to the music. I'm going to post it on the other platform. We are going to do some free questions at the end, guys. I'm going to do a couple general messages, then I'll do some free questions, then I'll do paid readings. I have one more spot left on the paid reading list. If you guys are wanting to get in the list, go book it right now. All you have to do is go to my website, click on TikTok live readings. Love or career readings are 26. Soulmate twin flame readings are 36. Full year readings are 46. One more spot and the list is closed. Oh, listen to the music. Let's do, isn't it gorgeous, Maria? I'm grateful. One spot left. Ooh, Mexico. Mexico. Okay, guys, we're gonna do a few general messages. We will do some free questions after this. And then there's one more spot available on the paid reading list. If you guys are wanting to get in the list, you know what to do, okay? You know what to do and how to do it. Spirits, angels, and guides, ascended masters, loved ones, teachers, positive ancestors. What do we need to know at this time as it relates to my collective high-level overall energy? Ooh, did you guys see that raccoon climbing up there? Apparently they're not called raccoons. It's like a Mexican raccoon. Okay. What is the high squirrel? It was actually a raccoon. It's actually a raccoon. But they're a Mexican. If you guys know what the name is of those Mexican raccoons, let me know. What do we need to know, though? What do we need to know, though, this collective's high-level energy? Oh, dang. Some of you, there is, yeah, it kind of looks lemury. It does. Some of you feel maybe more passionate than you felt in a long time, okay? Or some of you are being called to ignite your passions. Ignite your passions. I feel this energy of needing to lead with your fire or allow your fire to be fully activated at this time. I feel this energy of this collective maybe feeling stuck for some time, or maybe you felt like there's something here about feeling like you couldn't move beyond some type of impasse, a koti, that's what it is, it's a koti. You felt like you couldn't move beyond some type of impasse, but now you don't feel that same, like being encumbered. You don't feel that same burden. You don't feel like you are held back or restrained in the same way. So this is this collective that I feel like is starting to feel like they're shifting into a place in which they're gaining their faculties back, or they're getting their energy back, or getting their mojo back. The song is, "Don't Stop Me Now, I'm having such a good time." So for some of you, yeah, for the first time in a long time, you feel like things are finally going in your favor, right? Or at least you feel like you are shifting your mindset, you are shifting your energetic focus on things that are moving, which is also creating this appearance of or experience of things moving in your favor. See, that's the shift. Cooking with Carly. That's the shift, okay? Now, for some of you, okay, we have, yes, Mexico, yes. Bienvenidos. This is a collective that I see at this time also needs to be aware of the fact that during this time of these hard-fought battles, during this healing process, it feels like you built up this wall to protect yourself, or built up this wall to be able to prevent yourself from getting maybe further hurt, or going back into those painful experiences that you once had, okay? I feel this energy of a time. We felt like we had to have this guard up, the shield up, maybe again, post-healing journey. We're like, the last thing we want to do is go back into that pain, that discomfort. So many of you, yeah, you put up these shields or this energetic guard to prevent yourself from going back. But I see this encouragement here to trust that you have the capacity to discern what is and what isn't healing for you, okay? And I will say sometimes this guard only blocks us from experiences that we are actually meant to experience. Truthfully, the encouragement is to live this life not completely devoid of ego or devoid of having any discernment, but it is to live life through an open heart, through this being led by our passions, even if that leads us into places in which we feel like we're being led astray, even if we feel like it leads us into a rabbit hole or leads us into a painful karmic relationship or a lesson. Even those lessons, often those lessons are the most important lessons to learn. Those are the most healing lessons to learn, okay? So I feel like this is a collective that has done the heavy lifting. You've gone through the worst part, okay? The worst is behind you. Now you're starting to feel like you're getting your energy back. You're feeling more inspired again. But some of you still have a bit of guardedness or a bit of a wall up that we do need to drop, okay? What can we do here to drop this wall, to drop this guard? How can we do this specifically? Okay, so I feel for many of you, the way that we drop this guard is to recognize as well that this time, like, we don't want to be having curated experiences. Within this collective, what's interesting is that I don't feel like your default is this. I don't feel like your default is being guarded. I don't feel like your default is having that wall up. Frankly, I feel like it's the opposite. I feel for many of you, your default was actually being fully open. until you went through what you went through. So now it almost feels like you're going against type, or you're going against what feels like is your natural instincts. And that could block you from having beautiful soul-aligned experiences. For many of you in this collective, your ability to have an open heart and follow that open heart, even into places that feel painful and uncomfortable, that's actually a gift. Where for many of you, you've looked at it as a detriment. You've looked at this as, this is a burden. This is something that I've been just saddled with. This is the universe giving me this curse of just wanting to help people or save people or support or follow my heart. And maybe you feel like you can view it that way now based on your past experiences. But if we can shift our perspective, if we can see from this higher perspective to see that we've actually gained so much power from having these painful experiences, we can recognize that this guard will only block us from the obtaining of that power in the future, from the obtaining of that insight in the future. So this is actually an encouragement to say, drop the BS. Within this collective, I'm like, this ain't you, babe. This ain't you. Like, you're not the person that's like I'm a cool guy, I'm a cool girl. Like, I don't fall for you, catch flights, not feelings. Like, that's not you. That's never been you. So like, why are you trying to pretend that's you now? Why are you trying to put on a front? Why are you trying to put up this guard that doesn't even feel like you? Why are you trying to wear a mask? That's not you. Okay, that's not who you are. It never has been. And frankly, you putting on that mask is actually masking you from the depths of the experiences that are actually quite pleasurable. And the immensity of that pleasure and that pain is in equanimity to the depth of the insight and wisdom that you gain from those said experiences, right? Do you ever notice the most painful experiences, the ones where you're like, oh, just rip my heart out, why don't you? Those are the ones that change your entire life. Change your entire life. Right? Change your entire life. It allows you to experience life in a completely different way. It requires of you this willingness to surrender, sometimes begrudgingly, okay? But I will say, I think when we say don't allow low, I agree with Tiffany in terms of forgiveness. I think forgiveness is key for ourselves. But low vibrational experiences are actually meant to change us. They're meant to change us in the sense in which we are meant to continue to evolve and expand, right? We don't want to have that guard up, right? We don't want to go against type or put on that mask if that doesn't feel true to us. But we do want to allow ourselves to be changed. And we do want to allow ourselves to welcome in a full spectrum of experience. Low vibrational, high vibrational, and otherwise, right? We are always navigating that spectrum, right? We are always trying to continue to elevate. But in moments, sometimes we do need to go back to experience, understand, or reflect. I agree fully. And I think that's the key. We must not become jaded, as Ms. Tiffany said. We must not become jaded. We must know that those experiences were meant to be healing and have gratitude, even when that gratitude feels difficult to access, okay? Every experience is going to have good and bad, right? Or it's going to have feelings of discomfort and pain and feelings of joy and pleasure. Every experience is going to have that, again, spectrum of experience throughout, whether it's something that starts off painful and becomes joyful or otherwise. And in this instance, what is important is that we don't attach ourselves to either, right? The joyful experience or the painful experience. We actually see that both are serving us in a different and unique capacity, okay? And we allow ourselves in those moments to experience something fully and experience our observation of self fully, because that is what allows for the most powerful change, okay? Tell me a little bit more about this. What do we need to know? What do we need to know about moving forward here in this collective? Yeah, I feel for many of you, why you're being hard on yourself is maybe you feel like for some time you were complacent or you were unwilling to make a change. But within this collective, you weren't willing or you weren't meant to make a change in those instances. Like those times in which you felt like you were stuck, or those times in which you felt like you were immobilized, that was necessary in order for you to be able to observe yourself, in order for you to be able to go through this process of internal change before your external reality could match that, okay? So be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Some of you are being impatient with your outer reality to be able to match the changes your inner reality has already undergone, okay? So final insight and energy moving forward in this collective. This is a new state of self-worth and self-confidence, okay? And in this, what's most important is that you appreciate yourself for who you are. The uniqueness that is your most beautiful gift, that is the expression of your soul. We are not meant to experience, the same experience that other people undergo. We are not meant to live life in the same way. We're not meant to walk the same path. And your unique experience is going to be dictated by your willingness to trust yourself, by the willingness for you to be able to also appreciate how far you've come, and also as well tune into the part of you that has enough confidence to know that it's not a matter of the world being against us or the universe being against us, because who would be, right? We don't want to walk around this world with this chip on our shoulder, a victim-like mindset. And I feel like within this collective, we are learning to not do that. We are learning to see the world as an opportunity to experience ourselves mirrored back. And we are no longer attaching ourselves to outcomes and continuing to work with and shape shift within the energy, okay? So I hope that message was helpful for my collective. The song right now is Love's in the Air. Love is in the air, okay? Love is in the air. Can you feel it?